Hello, everybody. After an end of season video that has me melting down a little bit, I usually come online, soon thereafter and say I'm sorry. But you know what? I don't even think I was that emotional at all, because I've been in the same state of mind, like right before Jason Garrett got fired. When Jason Garrett got fired, I wasn't real hopeful. Yay, but Garrett got fired. No, I was like, no, we're gonna hire another Jason Garrett. And when Mike McCarthy got hired, I was like, it's another Mike. It was Mike McCarthy, another Jason Garrett. It may happen, may not. Throughout the 2020 season, throughout this season, at the beginning during the playoffs, I was still like that because it was the culture of this organization that simply remains the same. The characters are different. It remains the same. So haven't in this whole week. I've been watching the boards. I hadn't, who replaces Quinn. I don't care. Dez is getting in fights with Dak's brother, talking about Romo, and we don't talk about Romo. No. Because not Romo, in my mind, not Romo, not Aaron Rodgers, not anybody that I can think of could come into Dallas and win in this organization the way it is. Not anybody. You would say Mahomes maybe, but Mahomes, is he bringing Andy Reid and Kelsey and Hill and that whole offensive staff or whatever they got going over there? Because that is a team thing that's actually hitting a great level. Mahomes is playing great. Hill, Kelsey, I just want to punch him. You know what I'm saying? You just want to punch him. He's just that good. I'm surprised nobody has done it yet. They just get so mad because he's just doing stuff over him. They just punch him. So if you go bring him over, bring that whole thing over, and we can get it done there. But in our current, organization, the way it is, quarterback is not the answer. It's not the answer. So I don't get involved with none of that stuff. Nothing is perking my brain. Even firing McCarthy hasn't perked my brain. You fire McCarthy and you might bring up somebody just like I said when you hired him. You bring another puppet in, don't give him power, la la la. Okay. The reason why I'm making this video is my ear did go up. Something came across yesterday that just made my ear come up, and that's the reason why I'm making this video today, because I'm interested. Sean Payton is causing some stirs over there in New Orleans. Now, him being hired, if that happens, I know it's like a 5% chance maybe, but there is a chance. But him getting hired, it says a lot. It says a whole lot on a lot of different angles. For one, I started this channel on YouTube when Sean Payton was still in Dallas. So Sean Payton knows the culture that I speak of. He was inside of that culture that I speak of, and he knows it 100 and if you can go 100 times, if you can go 100% more than me, he knows it way more than I know it, right? So if it's too toxic, he wouldn't step in it. So the fact that if he does step in it, it's like, okay, all right. And then secondly, on the other side of the fence, there's no way you can hire a Mike McCarthy and a person that is a known offensive mind throughout the NFL should have some kind of respect for himself and his offensive game plan to get a job and say, I'm running the offense. But he was hired, and Jerry said, no, Kellen's running the offense. Yes, sir. That's not Sean Payton. That's not going to be Sean Payton. And Jerry knows it, and Sean Payton knows it. If Sean Payton comes over here, he's going to have full control. If Sean Payton needs to bench Zeke because Zeke is not being effective, then Zeke is getting benched. And going to see how that affects the psyche of a player. To sit down because the coach said you ain't doing nothing for us. And see how that motivates a player. Rather than, we're paying so much money for this guy. We've got to say he's our best chance. And hearing all that stuff coming from the pipeline. Because all of that would be shut down with Sean Payton. And he would make sure that it's done before he steps foot in Dallas. He would make sure that he's the final call, especially out there. He might get help from, McClay and all those guys in the draft because, we're not doing that bad there. So he might get some help from there, no problem and whatnot. But it comes to the field, he's going to have to do what he wants to do. And that would be an admission by the Joneses that, it's time to give it up. It's time to give up this control to somebody else. I have not been successful for 25 years. Let's give somebody else that at least the field. The field. We can still do the contracts and all that kind of stuff. He don't have to come over here doing our stuff. But the field, the contract has no bearing on how much that person plays. You know what I'm saying? The field belongs to the coach. Now that would be huge, and that would be that would instantly get me. That would instantly get me over right there with the Jones family. Now I can't put all the blame on the Jones family during this time period because there's another maturation that has to happen too, and that's between the Cowboys fan base. Now Jerry did everything for us. Jerry would go out and get T.O., mess up this, do this, whatever, because he wanted to win for us. Maybe he didn't know how. Maybe get clouded in, making money too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't know what's clouded into Jerry's winning because it hadn't materialized. But what he was doing for us because we would want it. We was complaining about something. And every time we complain about something or say something isn't right, Jerry is right there to try to fix it. We got to know that when or if we get Sean Payton's going to do what Sean Payton's got to do. And you're just going to have to eat it. If Sean Payton's going to have a running back playing quarterback, you're not going to accept that, Dallas Cowboy fans. You're going to lose your mind. If you hate Dak Prescott, you will lose your mind with a pure running back that has zero arm running the quarterback. And you're going to have to eat it because you know that this guy is doing it for the betterment of the team. So you got your responsibilities to look, man, we don't become losers. We don't become losers over 25 years by about only one thing. It's a whole lot of things, and the fans were a part of it. So if we get a coach like that, because we gave Parcells pure HE double. Watch, as soon as I say Parcells, even old school programming from people back in that day will start saying, he Parcells, you just complain and didn't even acknowledge that. While you were complaining, this guy brought us from here to here, and still we have not dropped off from where Parcells left us. I'll leave you with that. All right, guys. I felt bad. This was like the best week of football I have ever seen in my entire life, and I didn't watch it with you guys. And I was walking around, and I was catching, a game from each part of the house or whatnot. But this week, I know the first game, Cincinnati, who I love Cincinnati. It's Joe Burrow. I don't know how I became this much of a Joe Burrow fan, and he literally ripped my heart out in the national championship with Clemson. And I literally love Joe Burrow. He's like my favorite young quarterback in the league. However, he's getting a lot of credit for last week. He didn't do. Watch the last end of the game. He got 2 interceptions from his defense and a stop in the fourth. That's why Cincinnati won the game. It wasn't Joe Burrow. But I digress. Burrow is like my favorite, and I hope he beats Mahomes so bad. It's ridiculous. And I hope he wins the Super Bowl. I really do. Him and Chase. Chase, I used to think him and Jefferson was, just doing it all for Burrow or whatever. Burrow was just throw it up, but them three together, that was gold at LSU, and it's rolling over to the NFL. And as a Clemson fan, it makes sense because I thought a lot of my football team at that window or whatever, and LSU just came out of nowhere and just smacked the living out of us and Alabama. So I'm a Burrow fan. San Francisco, I just want to see that game. I from day one of our loss or whatever, I said the world needs to see another Rams San Francisco game because the first two games, if you missed it, you missed something. Them two teams, and it's like when you see teams play at that level during the regular season, you keep an eye on them because they're probably going to play deep in the postseason. And the Rams in San Francisco were literally trying to kill each other. They were literally trying to kill each other. So the world needs to see another one, and I don't care who wins that one, who goes to the Super Bowl. I'm cool with both teams. I don't say I like both teams. I don't like San Francisco. I kind of like the Rams, but I don't care who wins between that one. But I will be pulling for the Bengals in the Super Bowl. I will. Just Joe Burrow. Sorry, Joe Burrow fan. All right, guys. I will try to get that game, though. I will try to stream that game live here. It happens late, 6:30 that night, so I probably won't be outside. I'll be inside because it'll be cold out there. But I will stream that game. All right, holla at you guys. Peace out.